Is Andrew the luckiest NFL player ever, or is he actually getting what he deserves? Now, are you a Cavs fan or a Cleveland fan? And if you are, is that just fool's gold? And finally, Floyd Mayweather, just when we thought he could not shock us anymore, he's got another trick up his sleeve. All this and more up next on Sports Weekly.
You are tuned into Black Hollywood Live, Sports Weekly.
Improvement. I got the keys.
We got the keys.
Who got the keys?
Who got the keys?
Who got the keys?
Dre,
You got the keys.
you got the
You
keys?
got the keys.
What? I can't have the keys?
You got the keys.
I got the keys. You guys have the keys because you're watching Sports Weekly every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. But BTW, we're going to do a bi-weekly summer schedule until football season starts. So make sure you guys know that we are dark next week, but we will be back for our next episode on Thursday, July the 14th. I believe that's right? Yes, 14th. Yeah. So we're dark next week. We're back on July the 14th every other week. Sports Weekly, Thursday night, 7 o'clock until football season starts, and we're back to our regularly scheduled program. I'm Erica Renee Davis. You can find me on Snapchat, Periscope, Twitter, and on Instagram at Erica Renee D.
What it is, man, it's Andre Dean. I am Andre. What up? What are you?
What are you?
What are you on Instagram and Twitter?
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Charlie L. Myers at Charlie L. Myers at Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I got the keys.
You got the keys. Okay.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Joshua Johnson. Find me on social media at JJ the Talented. You got the keys?
I got the keys.
I don't think Nick Young got the keys.
Nick Young got the keys.
I think they talk about.
I think Iggy might have the
talk about kilos of like any drugs.
Oh, no, we're talking about like keys to
They're
like the
talking about
car.
cars.
I got the keys to the car
To
and
the
the
car.
house.
To the
Okay,
house.
cool. We don't want to
Yeah.
promote any of that.
Yeah, we don't promote any drug paraphernalia.
Absolutely
But you guys can have the keys if you follow Black Hollywood Live on BlackHollywoodLive.com. If you follow us on Twitter, you can also have the keys at BHL Online, and also follow us on Instagram at The Sports Weekly. And then you guys will have all the major keys to success, and then we'll love you forever.
To sports, anyway.
Yeah,
for sure.
true.
Another one.
All right, DJ Khaled.
Hey, Charlie Collard.
So, Josh, you want to start us off?
Yo, more in this Nick Young, Iggy Azalea saga.
Man, what y'all doing, man?
Just breaking news today.
Breaking news, man.
That poor girl.
So yeah.
Really?
You remember what happened? We reported about it a couple weeks ago. D'Angelo Russell recorded Nick Young with the video and, caught him up, telling about how he was cheating on Iggy. Iggy lets it slide. She's standing by her man. She was, true to the relationship. She's like, let me try to work it out. Well, come to find out, a few weeks later, like last week, right? She announces on Twitter that, they're broken up.
Yeah.
And then today, she says, I broke up with Nick because I found out he had brought other women into our home while I was away and caught them on the security footage.
But let me tell you what's funny about that. Like,
She got him
guys,
on camera.
they're calling Nick Young like a savage. Guys are like, he deserves to have his jersey retired, Hall of Fame status. I'm just saying, like, social media and Twitter, especially guys out there, have definitely been Team Swaggy P.
That's not it, though. That's not the whole story, because come to find out, she finds out on E! News.
Yeah.
Nick didn't tell her this. She found out on E! News that his ex was pregnant with his baby.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't think they confirmed that yet.
well,
That's how
think
she
it's in
found
the
out.
air.
But the street committee confirmed it. That's all that matters.
that's all that matters.
So don't go throwing
Streets
that
is talking.
falsification out there.
No.
Don't go throwing that
Streets is talking about.
I mean-
We just got to report how we see it.
Yeah, E! News is already put out there, so we're piggybacking off the coattails of E! News. So if they're wrong,
Well, they
then hey.
broke it.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I feel bad for Iggy. So you don't really.
I don't. But go ahead.
So I feel bad for the way that she found out that she's seeing her man cheating on her on camera. How would you like that?
On camera. If you walked into your house and looked at your security footage and your man was cheating on camera,
Seeing his
wouldn't
booty.
you want some sympathy?
No, okay, yes, I would. But see, I never believed that Iggy and Nick were a real couple anyway. I think we talked about this months and months ago. Like, I always thought that this was like not a fictitious relationship, but more for her to try to gain some more stardom. I mean, it's a good look for her.
That's not. Nick Young, I mean, she could have picked a better Laker.
Yeah.
I mean, but come on. I mean, look at
get what she
Iggy.
can get.
She got to get what she can get. Thank you,
She
Dre.
ain't the hottest thing
She's
on the
not.
hottest mom on the planet.
Is it just me, or does she look like
To
the
white chicks.
The
White chicks. That's what I
white
was gonna
chicks,
say.
yeah.
For
Absolutely.
sure. But he
Oh
looked
my
like a
gosh.
Muppet himself, though.
Yeah, so they're equals in the department of looks. So I mean, what like she couldn't go for, I don't know who's a good looking basketball player. She couldn't go for a Kyrie. Kyrie's not checking for that. Are you serious?
Well,
Yeah.
Kyrie.
Well, he is.
I'm saying the girl he chose.
Kehlani. But at least Kehlani's got talent.
Well, I don't know, but look, when you think will this get sympathy for her career? Because before this, she had been catching a lot of flack for some things she'd been saying in the media. Some people were standing up for her. Some people just totally dumped her and dumped on her, especially Black Twitter.
Why are you laughing?
What do you think this will do for her career? Will this get her sympathy though?
She's
because
gone.
women unite on issues
I don't
like
even
this.
think she wants sympathy. I don't think she cared at this point. She
You
just
don't think
trying
she
to
cares?
move on and trying to do her own thing.
Her
and
career needed some kind of
she
resurgence.
knew he was
though.
cheating. She knew he was cheating on
Yeah.
her. That was a fact. Now it's just out, and she's seen it, and now it's a reality to her. You know, and now she's trying to move on. She don't care.
She don't care?
Nah,
After
that's
3
why
years,
that's why
she
she keeps posting on social media. I don't think she cares.
Yeah, because
That's another thing though. Why would you
She
post
likes-
this on social media? That's a lot of
Yeah.
dirty
that's what I'm
laundry, dirty
saying.
laundry to be putting on
Right,
social
because
media.
she doesn't care.
like how if you're in that vulnerable of a state, are you really going to Instagram and to Twitter and posting like your most heartfelt messages to your millions of fans, people who don't care about you?
That's one thing that I don't understand. Why would you post something so personal on social media? Shouldn't you leave that between each other?
Right.
I just
You would
don't
think-
understand that.
It's already out there anyway. Now though,
You would think that
I mean-
would, stuff like that, you would kind of keep.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Yeah.
she
Private,
didn't
keep
originally
close.
put it out there. You know, there was the other story was originally put out there. The story about
the D'Angelo
The-
Russell thing. That story?
No. There was another story about. I think he was dating. It was something else. Another story was released, and then she responded on Twitter to the other story. She was just responding. She didn't openly come out and say, "Oh, this is why I cheated." She was responding to something that she read, and they were posting on.
Side
social
note,
media.
did you guys see the commercial of D'Angelo Russell?
Yeah.
That thing was
that was good.
hilarious.
That was
It was
good.
hilarious.
Yeah.
He took the phone and just
Good
threw it
commercial.
out the window.
But now it's like too soon because that commercial was released and then this story broke. So it was like,
Yeah.
sheesh.
Yeah, that's
too
right.
soon with that
Yeah, that's
commercial.
right. Well, how will this affect Nick? You think he's moving on? Because he, allegedly impregnated his ex.
Baby mama.
Baby
And
mama
then-
drama.
But when it's so much drama like this, sometimes it affects you on the court. And with the Lakers kind of rebuilding, Nick, is he gonna stay? Is he gonna leave? Is this even something that he can, play through?
Something been affecting him on the court since he touched it. the Laker floor.
I don't think.
mean,
I don't think it's
I don't
this.
know
I
if
just
it
think
was-
it's just not
Yeah.
playing well.
Maybe his mind just isn't on the game.
I don't
It's
think
on a
so
different
either.
game.
I think Nick Young is kind of like the new Dwight Howard of the Lakers. He's
just having fun.
He's just having fun. He
He's
likes
just
being
there.
in LA. He's just there. He'll shoot up a random 3-point, I guess a Hail Mary shot, if you will, and
Turn
not make it. And then
turn around and turn around and celebrate.
Oh shit! I didn't make it. His basketball career, I believe, is really almost over.
I think this TMZ is saving his career.
Maybe he'll have
They're helping each other equally because he's
Yeah.
not playing well and he's not doing anything, and she's not making any music, so she's not doing anything.
I see her making an album about him and then making tons of money because of it.
Maybe instead of a lemonade, what are we gonna call it? We call it a limeade.
And Iggy Aid.
Did you say limeade?
Wait a minute. Isn't she Becky with the good hair though?
Well, I mean, no, she is not Becky with the good hair.
gosh.
She is a Becky.
I can't believe we're still talking about that.
Okay.
She was cheating
Right.
with. Never mind. I'm not even gonna go
She
there.
was not cheating
No,
with
he.
Jay-Z.
I was going. What's opposite of Becky with the good hair? But
You
I'm
know
not
what we doing? We giving them free publicity.
That's right. We are.
We giving them free publicity. They
Well, hopefully
send us a check.
she can move on and forget about this.
Send us our check.
Maybe have some. Yeah.
Josh, you got another one, something for us, don't you?
Yeah, definitely someone who is unforgettable, but justly has some is getting reported that Pat Summitt, and I think this was yesterday. Was it yesterday?
Yesterday morning, yeah.
Yesterday that she passed away. Legendary women's basketball coach for University of Tennessee, Lady Volunteers. Definitely a huge career. This lady, I remember as a kid kind of tuning in, finding out about her, and just kind of tuning into women's basketball, college basketball, just to kind of see who she was, and then finding out that she was such a winning coach.
She was,
And I kind of got into it, you know, when I found out who she was as a coach. And unfortunately, she did succumb to Alzheimer's, but leaves behind a legendary career with a lot of players that she coached. One thing that people were asking about her was, how would she have done coaching men, maybe in being the first female coach in the NBA, first female head coach?
See, I don't think that's I think that's almost an unfair question to ask.
I agree.
You know, whether Pat Summitt could have successfully coached men in the NBA, because grown men tend to not want to be subordinate to women anyway. So that's an added obstacle that you would have. And then I think that the game of basketball is a lot different when you're, like, for men, like watching WNBA versus NBA, or watching college women's basketball versus watching men's basketball in college. They're almost two different kinds of styles of playing. So if she coached the NBA, if Pat Summitt actually was an NBA coach, I don't think she would have been successful, but that's not a knock at her skill set and her brilliance. It's just that that's just the name of the game.
We talked about this a few months ago when it was a female coach in the NFL. Now, it wasn't a head coach. I think it was more like a special
She was
team,
like a
or
grad
scouting
assistant.
coach, or something like that. And Dre, you had a take on that, because coming from the professional football ranks, and you had to take about how just men wouldn't flat out respect her, and if she didn't play the man's game, then she wasn't going to be respected as a coach. But
right, I didn't say
case,
men wouldn't respect her. I said they wouldn't respect her as a coach. So like, not because you gotta respect her regardless because of what she's accomplished.
Right, as a coach. I mean,
right, but as a coach, absolutely not. And in this situation, I think it's the same. I mean, you respect what she does, and we all know her. Like, I mean, you don't even have to. I know who that is with no captions on it, because I've grown up watching her and seeing her face of that very. Actually, I've seen it.
A very stern face,
times.
but she was very serious on the floor. But she won.
She was great, right? And she was great at what she does. So I mean, I think anybody just commends what she does. Of course, and at Tennessee, but in no shape, form, or fashion should you think that. Do I believe personally that would carry over to the men's game? It's faster, it's different, and you gotta respect. Yes, right. You just gotta respect. You gotta know. You gotta have experienced that to earn that respect, and she has it. Period.
Go ahead, John.
Before I say anything, 2016 has been the biggest year for losses for us in the sports world. I think that it just needs to stop. I know. With all that said, I have to say all of her top things that she did. She's the winningest coach for men's and women's in Division I. Won 32 SEC championships and 8 national championships.
Which hurts me because I was at UGA while she was there, and our women's basketball coach is Andy Landers. Shout out to Andy Landers. Couldn't hold a candle to Pat Summitt.
And the big thing about it is 100% of her students graduated. 100%.
That's success on and off the floor.
That is just, I think that's great. Regardless if you go to the WNBA, that is special on its own.
Yeah.
And the last thing I have to say, so Alzheimer's disease is a big thing.
It's common.
She died at 64 years old. My grandmother died of Alzheimer's, so I understand what they're going through. I was watching an interview about somebody talking to her on ESPN and saying, "Oh, meet me in Dallas," and then she went to Dallas, didn't hear from them, and she found out the hard way because she forgot everything that she said. It's a very terrible disease. If you can out there, if you guys are watching, donate to your Alzheimer's anywhere out there. It goes to good research. I know firsthand the
I think we
effects.
Talked about this because my stepmother just succumbed to the disease a few weeks ago. Yeah, actually a little over a month ago. The same thing. Definitely, I feel you on that. And as Charlie said, donate to the different societies and organizations that can help find a cure for that. Because seeing your loved one go from such a vibrant person to just be reduced to nothing. And at times you can kind of see in their eyes that they kind of know as well that they're forgetting, that they're different. And it's definitely something terrible to go through. And our heart goes out to her family as well for this.
And as for donating, the University of Tennessee actually started a Pat Summitt Alzheimer's Foundation. So, I mean, of course, donate to any foundation that you want to, but, in honor of Pat Summitt and memory of her and all the success that she had in her legacy, definitely check out University of Tennessee's Pat Summitt Alzheimer's Foundation. And I think I was very shocked because that family and her struggle, I think, was generally private. She announced it in 2011 that she was retiring, and then we kind of didn't hear from her anymore. And she got awarded with the Arthur Ashe Courage Award at the ESPYs in 2012. But I don't think that I realized, and probably not having had a close family member suffering from that disease, I didn't realize that the toll was happening to her so quickly.
It happens very fast.
Overnight.
And she's 6. She was so young, and so that's very shocking to me. And I would like myself to become more educated about it because I can only imagine what that family's going through. So.
And last thing, her celebration of life is July 14th. So keep your eye on that. I believe they're having it in Tennessee, but I'm not sure.
We're all Vols, all right. Even though I'll never be a Vol, but. We tip our hats to you, Pat.
Absolutely.
Okay. On a happier note, I guess if this is your money in your pocket, then you're happy. But if you're not, then you're not happy. Andrew Luck signed the most lucrative NFL contract in history. I wonder if this is the most lucrative sports contract ever for like one of the 4 majors. I wonder. I have to look that up. The contract is worth $140 million over 6 years.
No, we got more.
Oh, baseball.
Baseball gets way more.
I forget about baseball. I forget about baseball. Sorry, Charlie. So is my first question to you guys. I know I love baseball.
Yeah, lies.
Is Andrew Luck worth the $140 million over 6 years plus the $87 million guaranteed, or is this a little bit exorbitant for the Colts to be giving him this much money?
From his plays last year, no.
Okay.
It was the worst that he ever played, and his injury.
But he was hurt. Yeah. He only played 7 games.
Yeah, only 7 games. So I personally think that he wanted more.
Ooh, more than $140 million?
Yeah, I believe that he wanted more, or his agents wanted more.
I want more too, but I mean, sitting here talking to you.
Over how much time was it? Over how much time?
I believe it was 6 years.
6 years, $140 million, and then $87 million of that is guaranteed.
So 87, we could divide that because guaranteed. So $14.5 million a year guaranteed. That's not a lot.
That's it.
And I read an article that talked about that. Yeah, when you break it down and how the salary cap is going to change, and NFL gets more like an influx of money, similar to how NBA is getting more money. If you really break it down like that, then he's actually not making a ton of money per year as it goes with the salary cap.
Even 140 divided by 6 is making $23 million a year. Compare that to baseball. Compare that to compare it to basketball. That's not a lot, and he's putting his body on the line.
Dre?
Playing football, and it's much more dangerous than any other sport.
AFC. This is your.
I think you gotta be. I think you got to be extremely excited if you're his management team, if you're his agents, because you did what you were supposed to do. Because in that instance, whenever you come off an injury, you know there's a possibility that you may not play as long as you have wanted to, right? Because we never know how our bodies are going to respond to coming back from those injuries until we actually get out there on the field. And most of the time when you're playing in the NFL, the level is so high that even the slightest, like when you can't make that cut, when you can't, it deteriorates your performance. Like it kind of breaks it down a little bit, you know what I mean? And I think that he knows that. He's a very smart, intelligent young man. So he's probably saying, you know what, let me get everything from football that I possibly can, because I know that I may not be, not to say that he's not going to give everything he can to get back, because he's a competitor.
But he's never been one to cut, back and forth and run though. So is that even an issue? What was his injury?
Well, he had several. He had an abdominal tear. He had a lacerated kidney. He has a shoulder injury too. Those were the 3 major ones that kept him out last year, particularly. And I was going to say I'm on the fence with Andrew Luck. Like I'm on both sides of the fence, because when you look at what else you have out there, I mean, you have the Russell Wilsons, the Tom Bradys, the Aaron Rodgers. But other than that, when you look at the college landscape of quarterbacks, who else has really come out of college, or who else is a starting quarterback right now in the league, or even a backup that you would want to save your money for? So I see why a team or organization would throw their money at an Andrew Luck. But with so many major injuries, and he can be a turnover machine, I'm kind of like, do you trust him? Statistically, he sucked last year. Like statistically, he's not even a top 5 quarterback.
This is his worst season.
Yeah, it's his worst season.
His last season.
But he was hurt.
Only played 7 games, right?
True.
So that's why I say I'm on the fence. I get why the Colts would do. You want to lock up a star. He was a star at Stanford. He's proven himself somewhat. But that's
Year before last, he had 40 touchdowns. I mean, 15 last season, but 40 before that. That's a lot.
That's impressive.
Yeah, that's very impressive. And the fact that when you think about it, look at the numbers. I have a stat written here that Sam Bradford, who's no Andrew Luck. Sam Bradford made more than double his salary in guaranteed money, and Sam Bradford is no Andrew Luck. So when it comes down to the figures, this guy, he might not even be getting enough money.
I think to answer the question, I think he's getting what he deserves. I think, like you said, there's not a lot of top quarterbacks like the older quarterbacks, so we can say, oh my God, they're coming out killing it every single game. You got a few, the Cam Newtons, the Russell Wilsons, but everybody else has kind of just been scattered, kind of trying to find their way. And the first two picks in the draft, 2 quarterbacks. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the first time that's happened in a very, very, very long time. I mean, everybody's just kind of trying to figure it out at that quarterback position. And I think he's proven that he can be great, phenomenal, better than any other quarterback that's actually playing right now outside of a Tom Brady, outside of one of
that's major, Dre.
Yeah. He's had performances and he's had seasons throwing 40.
What did he say wrong?
I mean, he said that he's proven that outside of a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers that he is the next
He said
level.
He can be a great quarterback.
Yeah, he has potential to.
He has potential to be, but I thought you were saying that he has shown that he is that.
He has shown that he is the next up. Like, he's one of the only quarterbacks that has played at their level, that has had glances of those type of
disagree. Like, you're going to completely forget about Cam and
No. I think consistently as a quarterback, NFL quarterback, stand in the pocket quarterback who's like a Tom Brady, who's like a Peyton Manning, he's the next up. Now we're talking about a different breed of quarterbacks.
Different breed.
About Cam Newton.
And he came in, they picked him to replace Peyton Manning. He stepped into that pressure situation, took over the reins of the organization, and performed.
And did what he had to do.
So if you had to throw that kind of money, Charlie, did you want to go ahead?
No, you go ahead.
If you had to throw that kind of money at a quarterback other than Andrew Luck, who else would it be? Like, is there another quarterback that you would be willing to bet your bottom dollar on?
So you're going to disagree with me.
Oh, boy.
But Derek Carr. So yes, he has not. He hasn't proved himself yet, but I feel like this is going to be a breakout season for the Raiders. If he can prove himself, he's going to get paid at the end of that year.
Well, the Raiders make a lot of dumb decisions anyway, so I could totally see that happening. I could totally see that happening. But I don't hate Derek Carr. Honestly, I do think towards the end of the season we did see that he is talented and he does have a glimmer of potential in him. So I hate on the Raiders.
He only has 1 interception in the red zone the whole entire year. 1 interception in the any zone. That's incredible.
But that could be a misleading statistic though, because he could have been handing it off. Okay. Any predictions for how Andrew Luck having so much money in his pocket now will affect his ability to lead the Colts to the head of that division? Do you think he's going to feel the pressure to overperform, or do you think he's just going to be the same old and just be affected by injuries? And
now correct me if I'm wrong. The Texans got
whatchamacallit from Broncos. Yeah.
So
what's his name?
Brock Osweiler.
So I have to say that I feel like they're going to do better than the Colts this year.
Okay.
But that's just my opinion.
The Texans.
The Texans.
H-Town. Oh, so what's the?
How do you think that the Colts will do? Andrew Luck has a lot of pressure on him.
Right.
Is that gonna?
I think he's going to rise to the occasion.
Okay.
I think coming off a season where you did only play 7 games and they do pay you this much money, regardless to how much money you have or what you as a player, as a competitor, you want to go out there and put your best on the field and for people to say, he earned that contract.
He's a competitor.
Right, and I know that. Like I grew up playing against Andrew Luck in high school, and he's always been that way. He's always been that way, and I've only had a few conversations with him, and he's very soft spoken. He doesn't say very much. I think he just loves. He just loves the game.
So the Colts are going to do better than your Texans. I was going to say,
we smack them every year.
So the Colts are going to do better than your Texans. You think?
You know what? I don't think so. I think we're going to do better than what we did last year, but I don't think I thought that they overpaid that quarterback regardless.
Who, Osweiler?
Yeah, he didn't do nothing. He stepped in and performed for 7 games. That's another story.
He carried that.
He did. But I don't think he's earned that yet. I don't know. 7 games. Like, okay, he hasn't even had a full season. Like, Andrew Luck had 3 seasons before that he's kind of proved himself. Like, this guy has not had a season he's been on the bench.
But Dre, that goes back to like how there are no quarterbers out there.
That's
like
football. They'll throw money.
You gotta lock up a quarterback.
That's the truth. But your question was, do I think that he's going to be I think the Colts will do better than the Texans. Okay. I think Andrew Luck is a better quarterback than Brian Osweiler.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
So I absolutely think that the Colts are going to do better.
Yeah, provided he's healthy.
Yeah. Well, that's true too.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to Cleveland sports. Now,
Cleveland.
So the Cavs have won the championship, and it seems like the Indians are following in their footsteps. The Cleveland Indians, as of today, has won 13 in a row, and they are the best rotation in baseball. Over the Royals, which won the World Series last year, the White Sox, which I thought were going to do great, not so much, and the Tigers. So what do you think? Do you think that they're a good team? I personally think that they're outstanding. They swept 4 series in this winning streak. They're 47-30. And I think they're due. I think that they're a great team. I think they're going to do really great. How about you guys? What do you think?
Vegas has them at odds of being one of the highest rated percentages of winning the World Series this year. All of a sudden,
I don't see that.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, and I found that very shocking. I think when a city brings home a championship like the Cavaliers brought it home, you're on an electric high, and so everyone.
It's a morale boost.
Yeah, it is. Everyone feels good. The baseball players are like, shit. Well, the Cavs did this. What we got to do?
I say Cleveland rocks. Because if they can do it, good for them. Just like Erica was saying, they do kind of ride the wave of that Cleveland championship. And if they're riding that wave right now, there's no reason why they shouldn't keep going.
Yeah,
but they're not going to the World Series, though.
I personally think that they'll make it into the playoffs. They have an easier way of making it to the World Series than the Cubs do. I feel like the National League is a harder way to win the World Series. The Cubs have to make it to the Cardinals. They have to make it through the Pirates. Like they're both top-tier teams. With them, they only need to beat the Baltimore Orioles and maybe Toronto. Like that, they're not doing well this year. So I see them doing well, but maybe not going to the World Series. The one thing that I thought that was interesting, and I picked my picture for it. Jobu, do you guys remember the Major League movie?
Yeah.
They actually made a shrine. So Mike Napoli and Jason Kipnis made a shrine for this winning streak of theirs. And sports guys can be
don't jinx it. Yes, and don't jinx it. Jeez.
So what do you think? Do you like that? I think it's hilarious.
Are those trolls?
Man, I think that's dope, and I think it's worth it, man. Like, anytime, it's hard. I think they're kind of showing that, anytime you win 13 games straight in any field, in any arena, doesn't matter what it is, you got something good going.
I love it was like Connect Four.
And even in Connect Four. And I think that's the same thing kind of Cleveland, he's stupid. I think that's the same thing the Cavaliers did, is they show, Golden State was hot all that year, undefeated, you know what I mean? But then Cleveland got hot right when they needed to get hot, you know what I mean? And they showed out. So, you never know, but I absolutely think that they're a great team, man. And I'm kind of looking forward to see what how they end up.
Nice. Before you say anything, their Cy Young winner 2 years ago is their worst pitcher right now. They're worst. Everybody else is doing fantastic. They have let's take a look, the most complete games, the best ERA, most shutouts, and batting average against. That's incredible.
Yeah, definitely.
I just don't want to jump on the team that's peaking in the middle of the season bandwagon like everyone did for the Warriors. Everyone jumped on their bandwagon because they peaked so soon in the season. So, shout out to Cleveland. You guys are doing your thing right now, but don't forget you have a horrible football team. And, this
I always wonder.
Yes. Speaking about the Cleveland Browns.
Come back down to earth.
Yeah, speaking about the Cleveland Browns, do you think they're going to be a surprise this team this year?
Do they have a quarterback?
RG3. I had to look it up too.
That did happen, didn't it?
Right.
But still,
I don't even think he's going to be their starting quarterback.
Who's going to start for them? Because they released Connor Shaw today.
Oh, they did?
They waived Connor Shaw today.
Then never mind.
RG3 is going to be the starter.
I don't see it.
There ain't no championship coming to Cleveland.
What do they have? They have nothing. nothing to lose.
That's a good
What did
point.
we just talk about? How many quarterbacks are out there? What did we just talk about?
Hey,
we just had this conversation earlier. There is not that many quality quarterbacks out there right now. So these cats is getting money
Even
thrown
Johnny
at them.
Manziel got suspended for the first 4 games.
Right, but the fact, but the
He never
fact,
got a team.
But the fact that he was even still on a roster, and the fact that he was even still in the talks, you know what I mean? It's unbelievable. Like he's not even a football player no more. It's off.
He's
Are you,
really not.
are you talking about Johnny Manziel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bring back Tim Tebow.
I mean,
That's
you know,
what I
Johnny
said.
Manziel get well soon because obviously he's battling major addiction. So we're not trying to make light of people or of Johnny Manziel's addiction problems, but we are trying to say it is kind of farcical that he's got suspended for 4 games for what? Is he, like you say, is he even a football player anymore?
Does he care? Does he know?
I got suspended too.
He knows.
I'm suspended
He's
for
checking
16
Twitter and he's like,
games.
oh, I got suspended? All right.
Right. They ain't even plan on playing no way. So how you gonna suspend a brother? You know,
So my last question for you: is it a good time to be a Cleveland fan? Is it? I mean,
Sure. I mean,
yeah, you gotta be
your
happy.
team, your basketball team just won. Why not? You got one finally.
Absolutely, they
Yeah.
deserve that. That's amazing. That's a tough task.
I would never jump on a Cleveland bandwagon.
Not me neither.
Although LeBron kind of made me, have pulled at my heartstrings a little bit during the championship.
She wanted to jump on it.
What?
She wanted to jump on the band.
I'm not gonna say a word because you guys already know what I think.
You did. You said Cavs in 7, so you were right from the beginning. But no, yeah, it's a great time to be a Cleveland fan. I mean, whatever. They don't have anything else to do in Cleveland.
Why not?
Why not? All right, well, let's switch over to some boxing, right? All right, and this is kind of funny. I just thought this was funny.
It
I
is
wanted
funny,
to bring this
actually.
up. So recently, a couple days ago, Floyd Mayweather sent a strip club a tax bill for $20,000. A tax bill for $20,000 that he allegedly spent at the club in 2014. 2
Wait,
days ago.
why is he still doing the
he just
2014
sent them a
taxes?
tax bill.
He's behind.
Now this brother, he's been said to have made $700 million in his career of boxing.
Yeah.
For everything Money Mayweather. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Now, but what do y'all think, man? I mean, he spent $20,323 in $1 bills at the strip club. Just blew them off.
Why not $5 bills?
I was thinking the same thing.
I don't
When
know
are we
either.
gonna move up? These rich guys gonna move up in
Really?
denomination.
I've seen that
and
level.
start busting some
I've
five.
actually been in a strip club and seen that level, the $20 level.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's when you're balling. 'Cause you can throw ones,
That's when
but if
I
you really got
I started
throw some
stripping.
Harriet
I started
Tubmans up
picking
in that thing.
20s. Boy, I started putting them 20s in me.
Yeah, you
I
should.
went back to the car that night, made $1,000.
Oh, you're so stupid.
So somebody
for showing up.
I'm not a CPA or an accountant by any means. But explain
show
this how he can. What is this whole tax bill thing like? Why is he sending them the bill?
Now I read this, and again, I'm not an accountant, a mathematician. I go to H&R Block.
He's filing his taxes though, right?
So
he's filing his taxes.
Well, he's filing his taxes. So what someone explained to me that when you make X amount of dollars, when you make so much money, that your tax lawyer watches how much you withdraw, and if you withdraw, again, this could be wrong, but this is how it was explained to me, that if you withdraw large amounts of money at one time, then your tax lawyer will say, well, what was this $30,000 withdrawal for? Was it was it for a job? Did you pay somebody with this? And if you answer, yeah, I paid.
He's trying to write it off
Dre,
as a business
then
expense.
then
Entertainment or something like that.
Exactly.
Entertaining a business client or something.
yeah,
A write-off.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So
Did you hear the part
Yeah.
about how the owner of the club said everything that night was comped
Yeah.
for FloydMayweather and his crew?
Everything.
So he didn't have to pay for anything.
Cold-blooded.
It was all comped. And so
he also
the
said-
owner said, did you hear him? He said if it goes out to anybody, it should be the strippers because that's who the money went to. The owner made nothing that night.
Which is a lie. He made something.
because he has to take a
Yeah.
percentage from the strippers.
Right.
So,
They made something.
Is that how it works?
Yeah, the strippers
so-
have to give. I'm sorry, the dancers have to give the club a fee, a percentage. They give the bouncer. I know a lot about this.
How do y'all know?
I know a lot.
So this is
Dre.
No, I'm just kidding.
this is all hypothetical because
About to hit the club. No, I'm just kidding.
this is all hypothetical because I'm gonna get in trouble if I say that I've ever been to a strip club, which I've not. If my wife was watching, I
You gonna
haven't.
get in trouble for
Yeah.
that?
Oh yeah.
Are you
I
serious?
have. Hey, wife, I have.
So this is all
It was
hypothetical.
fun. Shoulda
When
came.
you go to a strip club, you gotta know that the money that you are making it rain on, that's non-taxable. That is something that you're gonna just give those strippers that money, and then they can take it, put it in their G-string, call it a day.
So what you're saying is it's a donation.
It's a donation.
It's a charitable donation. So why doesn't he write it off that way?
It's but he's probably trying to find ways that he can write it off. Even his tax lawyer made a statement saying like, if he reneges and says that it was a mistake, then they'll call it off. But right now, he's not.
I thought the tax lawyer said it may have been sent in error. This bill to the tax
that's what he said. But basically,
didn't he send it out though?
Yeah, he probably sent it out, but it doesn't matter. That's his tax lawyer. He's doing a great job of saying whatever he says, I stand by. But what they're also trying to do is figure out ways that he can write it off. If he can't, they're trying to figure out ways. That's why they have. It's been 2 years. That's why they haven't.
See, I would hope.
I think he's trying to figure out.
I would hope that either this was sent in error as a mistake, or because I cannot fathom that Floyd Money what
trying to write it off.
I don't think it was a mistake.
Like you're a billionaire almost. Virtually, you're a billionaire. You're spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on your kids' 16th birthday parties and on 13th birthday parties, but then you're going to send a 1099 form to a club. I really, really hope that this was something that his lawyer initiated and that this was not something. First of all, I seriously doubt Floyd Mayweather sat somewhere and said, you know what, I'm going to do this, because I don't think he even thinks that way.
No, and I think
the voice. No,
what?
I know you might be trying to attack his intelligence a little bit, but he does have some smarts.
He has a smart team around him.
But that's not a mistake. That's a cover-up. You know what I mean?
For what?
So if they try every method that they can and nothing works to a point where they can sue them and get that money, they can say, oh, well, we made a mistake. It was an error. But now, if you don't, you keep it in the open, though. I think it's like a tactic that they're trying to do.
I don't think it's a mistake, because this is how
it's not a mistake.
Wait, Charlie.
This is how rich people stay rich.
Charlie.
They pull stuff like this.
So a business owner.
Okay.
They bring people that they want to bring on for business to national football leagues and NBA games, and they write that off, correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So as a stripper,
as an independent contractor,
independent contractor, they're technically entertainers.
Okay.
So they're technically getting paid to entertain.
But
do they have to pay taxes on it? Like,
I mean, they're supposed to. It's probably like being a server or a bartender. Like, you're supposed to pay taxes.
How do they know? How will the IRS know? Because they're taking that's cash.
I do.
But now, I mean, they wouldn't know until Floyd Mayweather's ass gets on a national platform and reports that he gave $20,000. Otherwise, like, the IRS is not checking.
But Wall Street does this all the time anyway. Wall Street, Donald Trump, all these 1%ers. This is how rich people stay rich.
What did Mayweather say?
What if it was Donald?
And get him on
What if it was Donald Trump though?
If Donald Trump would be a little bit more savvy.
See, Money Mayweather say, "Run me my money back that I gave y'all. Run me that back." He wants that back. He wants all of it back.
Oh goodness!
I know for a fact sometimes when these people host the strip clubs, they'll so say you're a rapper and you go to a strip club and you're gonna be at Ace of Diamonds. They give them ones to throw.
I was gonna say that.
The club will give them
they give them money to throw because it's promo for the club.
For the club, with them making it rain.
Are you serious?
When the ballers are there,
And
it draws people to the club.
And they get paid to do
They can social media, it draws people. When they find out that so and so is here, blowing up with the dollar bills.
Yeah, for real.
I really didn't know.
Your wife.
But honestly, my biggest issue though
You ain't gonna have the kids. You're gonna be locked out.
I know.
You're gonna be sleeping in the studio.
You and Nick gonna be sleeping in the car somewhere.
He's gonna be in the studio,
Nick, I need a place to stay tonight.
I think the one thing that I can say I learned from tonight is that we need to upgrade, like you said, from the $1 denomination to the 5s or the 10s. Come on, Floyd.
That Harriet Tubman. That's what.
Get the Harriet Tubman. No, let's not disrespect Harriet Tubman. You see?
Let's go.
Also, you see how they do us, but Charlie and Creole, so I can't even do that. Okay. Any last thoughts before we wrap it up?
Yo, we real quick, we have a friend of the show who was here, who was a great guest for us, Carmelita Jeter. Who had aspirations of making the Olympic team this year in Rio. For the last time, she had announced that she was going to try to make it for the last time, but unfortunately, on Instagram today, she announced that due to an injury, she was not going to compete in the Olympic trials which having made that team, she would have made the Olympic team, but she's not going to compete. So this looks like the end of her track career. But we just want to give a special shout out as a friend of the show to Carmelita Jeter, and wishing her a great, whatever you decide to do after your career.
Yeah.
We wish you the best.
She said she was going to come back. So maybe we can bring her back.
And she lost a bet to us, and she owes us money.
That's right. She owes us money.
We need that.
And you can't make it a write-off.
Yeah, that's right.
We can write it off.
And also, this could be a blessing in disguise because in Rio this week they had some body parts were washed up on the beach next to the volleyball.
Was that Zika?
Yeah.
Zika virus or something?
That's right.
She dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet with that.
Yeah, I mean they got feet and knees and legs like washing up on shore to right next to where the volleyball matches are supposed to be played in Rio. So Carmelita.
That's tight.
What?
No, I'm just kidding. It's crazy. Hey, but look, people, I'm just kidding. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. But I will say this. I was wrong. I was out the last 2 shows working. I did say Golden State in Game 7. I was adequate about that. And you said
Cavs in 7.
Cavs in 7, so you were absolutely right.
I wish I put money on it.
I just wanted to tell you was right.
Thank you.
I appreciate I'm a man of my word. You was right, brother. You was right.
That's
Congratulations.
Right. That's right.
Congratulations.
Wish I got that Harry Tubman.
I know.
Hey, man, we're all trying to get that.
Guys, remember, Sports Weekly, we are doing our summer schedule, which means we are every other week. So next week, we're dark. We are back July.
We dark. This week.
I know. Well,
and lovely.
You and I are. I don't know why these two in the middle.
Y'all been dark.
July the
Every week.
14th. But definitely keep up with our Instagram at the Sports Weekly. So we'll be doing some fun things on Instagram. Right, Charlie?
That's right.
See? Sorry, Dre.
You got some stuff in store for us?
I got the keys and the.
That's all you need.
And the Instagram posts.
Okay, guys. Erica Renee Davis, you can find me on Snapchat, Periscope, Twitter, and on Instagram at Erica Renee D.
Yes, sir. Andre Dean. I am Andre with the U, please.
Charlie Myers, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Charlie L. Myers.
Joshua Johnson, find me on social media at JJ the Talented. And once again, let me just say, please become more educated about Alzheimer's. I'm sure Charlie, you can say the same thing. Definitely a terrible disease.
Donate.
Look that up. Donate wherever you can.
And as always, follow all things Black Hollywood Live on BlackHollywoodLive.com. Follow Black Hollywood Live on Twitter at BHL Online, and follow us on Instagram at The Sports Weekly. We will see you guys 2 weeks, July the 14th, Thursday night at 7 o'clock. Until next time. See ya.
From executives Keven Undergaro, Dario Kristen, Tiana Hobson, and the entire BHL staff, we would like to thank you for supporting Black Hollywood Live, the first online broadcast network dedicated to African American entertainment. For questions and comments, contact us. info@blackhollywoodlive.com. Like us on Facebook, tweet us, or Instagram us at BHL Online. And I am the official voice of Black Hollywood Live, Scipio. Instagram me at KingXOBay. Thanks for tuning in.
Hollywood redefined.
The views expressed here are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of BHL or its owners or principals.